Now, when it's your time to go, how would you fancy riding pillion into the next world? One motorcycling minister is offering biking fanatics the funeral of their dreams, with his bike as a makeshift hearse. After a brush with death himself, Paul Sinclair decided to leave his church and set up in business as a specialist funeral director. And bikers are his best customers.
It's not every day you see a man of the cloth on the back of a motorbike. Even less likely that you see a hearse bolted to the side. But then the Reverend Paul Sinclair is no ordinary minister. A former Glasgow shipyard worker, he's now a leather-clad biker, offering an unusual line in funerals.
The point in a funeral is that you do something that's representative of the deceased's life to honour them and to remember them. So if they loved cars, you have a quality car. If they were a sailor, they might have a burial at sea or be taken in a barge, something like that. But a motorcyclist, I think, should have a motorcycle.
The custom-made Triumph took over 9 months to build. The motorcycle-mad minister decided to pursue his calling after a serious biking accident when he nearly died. Setting up shop just outside of Leicester, he's already had a lot of interest. Meet 74-year-old Owen Brooks. These days he might be steadier on 3 wheels, but he still fondly remembers his youth on 2. When he heard he could reach his final destination on a bike, his mind was made up.
I was an old motorcyclist in the 1950s, and since it's come about that there's a motorcycle hearse, I think it's quite a good idea, you know. Spoken to the wife about it and she's no objection.
Driving license. All right, okay.
The biking funeral is available to believers and non-believers alike. The minister has even had interest from riders living on the continent.
I've never seen one.
He might be called the faster pastor on account of his speed, but that doesn't mean to say the Reverend Paul Sinclair is quick to get people to their final resting place. In fact, mourners can go on commemorative tours, which could include visiting the bikers' favourite haunts, including the pub.
Whichever you prefer, really.
Janet Hall's husband died suddenly last month. For him, heaven was a Harley. His wife sees nothing undignified about a motorcycle funeral.
I know he didn't actually die on his bike, but it's what he wished. And I think if somebody requests something like that, I think it's really nice to do something for them.
Bikers may be more than most know death could be round the next corner. Spending most of their lives on the back of a machine, many see this as the only fitting way to make their final journey. Helen Sims, BBC News.
Now it's time for a weather forecast. Here's Sarah Wilmshurst.